Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out if World Elite, with their one-trick poniness in a sense that they can only play around bottom, Mystic is the central figure, and Samsung figuring out the style they like to play to emphasize on their strengths. A very early game heavy comp that puts them into position at 20 minutes to be the ones taking charge of Nashor. That is what is working out for Samsung Galaxy right now. And you have to put into question World Elite. Varus, how do they deal with the Varus? How do they deal with this comp that is so powerful at 20-minute mark? World Elite, in the first time they faced it, they had a good composition to deal with that, the Jarvan, Rumble, Galio. The second time around they had a bit stronger lanes. Samsung now with Gragas ban. Okay, what does this say? Samsung are now leaving Kog'Maw open. Kog'Maw is now open. World Elite might pick it. Samsung are first picking Galio. The main question is World Elite. Now, I think with Tristana being in the picture, they're completely fine with that. Taric is picked away, right? Jarvan has to be picked away, otherwise it's a joke, right? So let's see what comes next. Like Samsung are most likely. Whoa! Jarvan, dude, pick the Jarvan, man. No. But when I see this, Samsung gonna go like Tristana and Jarvan. They could also just go Varus, Jarvan. I'm not too big of a fan of Varus into Kog, because I just think that Kog'Maw spikes better on every single item. No Jarvan picked still. No Jarvan picked. What is the reasoning? Like, sure, Rakan synergizes with Galio as well, but sure, Jarvan has 0% win ratio in this series, but very strange that it goes through for so long. And Jarvan Galio has been a combo that a lot of people fear. Let's see now if World Elite manage to set themselves up for a scenario where they can play Jace Rumble. That could be interesting. Jace Rumble with these picks. A bit of a tank of front line would be something that is also accepted against Galio, but I don't know if you can outbeef Samsung anyway. Rumble, Jace could be a nice approach to go for. World Elite are the ones banning Jace. Strange. They were the ones playing Jace in the mid lane, but Shen gets banned from Samsung. I like that. Don't give them Shen. World Elite have a opportunity here to just pick mid lane. I think picking mid lane is just better. They know they're going to play into Galio. Let's see what she has prepared into it. Maybe it's a Lucian. Lucian could be interesting. Talia is the name of the game. Okay. Crown had a lot of success. Whoa! Is this really happening? The Lee Sin int. The Lee Sin int. Coming in hot. Cannon into Gnar. Not a big fan of this matchup anymore. Once upon a time it was good, but now is the time when it isn't, in my opinion. AD Cannon was a lot better into a lot of these top lane matchups, and AP Cannon falls off if the enemy guy just buys them all, right? And there's a reason why people don't play fucking AP carries up top, because MR sucks. You don't get to buy all these fancy items that are perfect for you. Sorcerer shoes is like 15. Magic penetration. Haunting guys. Magic penetration. You know, all these juicy things that you get to buy in mid lane. Morello. Ooh. So good. Blue buff. Ooh. You know, these things don't exist up top. You play against fucking only Galios. You know, imagine you are annoyed when you play against Galio in mid lane. You're playing against 15 different Galios up top. When you play AP, AP up top. So I'm not too big of a fan of this Door Shield cannon. I think it comes with a lot of risk. I think also Kuve against 957, you know, it's just, I can't imagine 957 just pressuring Kuve, you know. He is a master of these matchups, and very interesting that Kuve is running Warlord's Bloodlust here. Warlord's Bloodlust is going to be better for his lane, right? And stacking fervor is not something that he's not gonna be able to do that easily against Cannon in the 1v1, right? So I like this. It's interesting. Warlord's Bloodlust on Nar, I think it makes sense here. Not too sure if I'm a fan of the Warlord's Bloodlust on Ruler. He doesn't have a lot of enemies to stack his fervor against, though, in the later team fights. So Warlord's Bloodlust is going to give him some more lane presence and some lane power. Nar skilled up W for the sake of the Lee Sin leash. And Kuve just procs it and gets movement speed and wins the trade because of it. Interesting stuff. Kuve doing a lot of unorthodox shit that I at least haven't seen. I've seen some Nar start W, but this was like only to leash, right? And this was in lane swap meta more than anything. And I remember the time where Nar soloed the camp and got level 2 and TP top with 15 potions and a pink ward. You know, this was good times. Where level 1 was just about taking 15 jungle camps at once. Ambition, the blind monk. I don't know, Lee Sin is, you know, and we saw MLXG int quite a bit with his Lee Sin. You know, he solo lost the game with that pick, and you know, this time around it's a bit different because he's playing against champions that can actually be kicked. That's a slowdown from Zia. Good knockup. The plant gets killed by CodeJJ. Well done by him. And the chase pays off in the end. CodeJJ with the roam from bottom. Varus and Rakan having priority against Kog'Maw. Makes sense. Kog'Maw is pretty weak early on. And very juicy gank here. Zia not running cleanse is a question mark, right? It's definitely a question mark. Not too sure if we would have saved him. Let's take a look at this again. Right now, we know that Lee Sin is on bottom side. You can see that she is playing to that side as well. But the flashing comes in, and then she flashes. Is supposed to flash in like an awkward direction because Ambition is cutting his path off into top side. But I don't know if he should have just not given a fuck. Like flashing here is just better. I don't even know if he's in range right now. Maybe he had to walk like more towards the wall when Galio was walking towards him. Then flash up here. Lee Sin with no Q, doesn't have a lot of damage. Heal and then walk away. But maybe, just maybe, these two people have enough damage to kill him. Because Crown's not going to be able to contribute here, right? Crown already flashed. Maybe Sia could. I'm not too sure if he just dies faster. I don't know, he could just go there and... Well, this definitely didn't work out, right? So... Maybe the situation where he flashes over the wall and Kondi just tries to EQ them. It's just a better situation. Kog'Maw and Taric get some room to breathe. They both are running Relic Shield here. In comparison to... the ancient coin on Taric, at least. Like both are running Relic Shield. Gives you a bit more of a sustain, but I don't know if mathematically it gives you more sustain, because if you get your mana back as Taric, then you can heal a lot, and Taric can expand his mana pool quite fast, you know, with his stacks on Q. So that is important to note. Let's take a look now. Something with like the Galio mid lane, they should definitely have like an advantage in the 2v2. I think No cleanse on Sheer, and then the fact that they have Lee Sin is going to make them very powerful. I don't know if they can dive this. Javan is going to be in position. Gali is also coming in. I think this might be very risky for Samsung. Javan is in position. The stun lands on Lee Sin. Lee Sin gets one shot. Talia is also in the mix. Kuve gets stunned up. Ooh, World Elite. World Elite. World Elite with the triple kill. Super risky stuff from Samsung. Super risky. World Elite now with Summoner advantage should be able to get mid priority now and start pressuring. They're the ones with the Talia. Ultimate ready on Gali, who was the one that was first into mid lane, so he's roaming towards bottom. He gets spotted up by a ward and WE. Just go for the enemy blue buff. Might see another fight commencing here. Ambition with the Gali ultimate could be able to do something, but face checking these bushes is very hard. Ambition not being level 6. Ambition getting EQ'd. Getting comboed. Kandi taking a lot of damage. Flashing out and interrupting Crown's abilities there. Nara is also first to the mix. Arcana is also coming first from bottom. Bottom was basing. This is some dangerous shit. EQ comes in. Kondi. Ooh, what a dodge, man. Holy moly. Mike Tyson. Muhammad Ali. Fucking Mayweather if you want. Holy moly. Shit, man. This is some crazy stuff. Look at all the pieces that fell into place. Samsung contesting this. They were thinking about Gali ultimate. Gali was very potent. But then, right here, Crown, his E gets cancelled by the Talia wall. He gets stuck in it, and Kondi gets away. Kondi doesn't get E'd and gets away and gets to walk towards Lee Sin and tickle him with his spear. With the spear, and then the dodge on the frozen penguin here. The frozen penguin gets dodged by Kondi. I think it could have potentially killed him. He gets level 6 from the minion, and he gets away with the blue buff with a kill. Clutch stuff here. A lot of ultimates being used, so we'll have like some downtime here. Kondi being level 6 with his ultimates and a lot of flashes being burnt is going to master a lot. Whoa. Alright, we're just going to replay into Gong, into top, into Lee Sin coming up top, into he's not level 6, into holy moly, he manages to get a kill anyway. And holy Ambition level 6 now, ranking up. I think Kondi fucked up though, like look at him. He punched Lee Sin when he shouldn't have punched him and got the turret aggro, and that was enough for Ambition to get a kill. And Ambition reaching level 6. World Elite had to peace out, and maybe they just had to peace out from before already. That is the main question. Mystic taking some heavy trades down bottom, starts to follow the enemy team now because his W came back up. The wave is in favor of World Elite. They're going to push in here. Infernal Drake. Interesting how with Infernal Drake up, there's not a lot of action down on bottom side. Soon, the castle will come crashing down on World Elite in the bot lane. When Gali ultimate comes up, Talia comes up, then the bot lane no longer have impact. They only get affected by the other things that are happening. Cannon in a fantastic position. Kuvi will have his TP back up first. Maybe that's going to have some kind of impact. World Elite this time around are the ones with the pink wards towards top side. So it's been a massive change from the previous game in terms of how much vision World Elite are willing to put down. And World Elite are now in a fantastic position to continue to snowball on this game. Kuve still no flash up top. Jarvan could come up there for a round 2. Ambition did get a kill and he has the 80 jungle item. Interesting that Kondi went for the 80 jungle item in the case where there's no other tank in the team. I just feel like he might get one-shotted. Sure, Taric can ult him and he might survive even longer, but let's be honest, you know, Jarvan is not going to outlast this front line, so might as well just fucking go for the burst. Go for the burst, boys. And on top of that, you know, there's a lot of magic damage on his team. He has the Kog'Maw, the Talia, and what? Whoa! There we go. This is what we all waited for. You can see that World Elite are leaning towards making the play on top, and they regret it quickly because they realize Infernal Drake is open. Infernal Drake is the name of the game. Taric ult comes down, Mystic flashes, gets taunted, Crown falls up with his taunt, and Crown falls with flash, is what I tried to say. World Elite are the ones securing the Infernal Drake though, because for some reason Ambition was soloing it while his team was diving bottom. Imagine a scenario where Ambition just contributes to the dive on bottom. I think Samsung made the call and made the assumption that World Elite are committing to the gank dive on top, and Lee Sin just continued to punch Infernal. But to be honest, Lee Sin should have been a part of the dive that happened. Like right here, Lee Sin should be behind. He should be kicking Ben in the face. Click, clack, boom, you know, for a kill. Boom, pow. And then they should just stop punching the tower. World Elite wouldn't have been close to take this Infernal Drake, and it would have been a fantastic scenario. But Ambition now gives away Infernal Drake, gives away a kill, makes it a good play for World Elite in the end, where World Elite should have been punished very heavily. World Elite on Sheer doesn't have his ultimate, Crown does have TP, so we have to see how that pans out. Summoners not used on core JJ, and the fact that World Elite's bot lane use both flashes is going to matter a great deal in the upcoming situations. Because it's all about just forcing into bottom at this point in time. I think top can be fairly ignored. Well, World Elite, I feel, still have that option to do a play into top if they want to commit to a trade. Rift Herald is up as well, so it might not be that horrible. But I feel like Mystic and Ben, they are very exposed here in the bot lane, considering they don't have summoners. So playing into it, if they can, with mid lane priority, will be very positive. The rocks pop off, the Q, and Crown just gets away with its adaptive helmet. Fits perfectly on his head. World Elite in the bot lane now. Ben, no. Flash, Taric ultimate being used. She is also in position now with the Talia. Condi is taking a lot of unnecessary damage there. Ooh, massive, massive play here from Code JJ. Code JJ. Ooh. Look at that. Holy moly. Corey JJ. Boom pow. Galliot comes in, knocks 3 people up after our boy Core JJ from North America. Frickin' gets it done. Wow. Plain and simple. World Elite now going for this play. They just TP under the tower. I feel like this is way too desperate. Like Kuve, you know, Samsung have no problem responding to this. And I feel like World Elite are just exposing themselves to the 5v5 that is so powerful for Samsung at this point in time. And with the way they TP in, with the way they do this without any type of priority, without any type of anything, you know, Galio can follow up, Kuve can follow up. It is quite terrible. You know, usually you want to do this when you can outnumber the enemy, but they can't. They can't outnumber the enemy. They didn't force Ambition out of his own jungle. He's taken a very defensive position, and Ambition is in position. And as long as Ambition is in position, then you have to just second guess your decision. And the decision was so wrong. Core JJ delivering beautifully here. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely monstrous how he manages to latch on to 3 targets. Boom. Can also blame World Elite for hugging together and being a bit too lovey-dovey on the Rift on a game that could be the settler for the rest of the series. It can just be the final nail in the coffin. This is massive. This is going to give Samsung the first tower, and World Elite maybe can aim to hit mid tower a bit here. Could be something that they could go for. Maybe Samsung don't even have enough time to hit bottom tower. Nah, it should be okay. It should be okay. World Elite are trying to trade with mid lane, and it works out. You know, not too terrible in the end. World Elite still have Inferno, and you know, the fact that Samsung get a lot of gold that is targeted here. You know, first the Taric ultimate is used horribly. World Elite are also just starting to tank the turret a bit too early, and that's really, really bad. The timing overall is just horrible, and you know, Ambition is down here, and when Ambition is down here, I think they should just give up. They should just walk back into mid lane and then try to make a play into top after killing the bottom wave, because the play for Samsung into bottom should be like non-existent. Should be really, really bad. Okay. So a lot of kills now on Ruler. He probably has Ginsu's Rage Blade and maybe Berserker Greaves even, because he did have a lot of money. Berserker Greaves, who am I kidding? He's fucking going for Ninja Tabai. Okay. Adaptive Helmet ready as well on Kuwei. Adaptive Helmet works very well against Talia and Kog'Maw, and against Cannon too as ultimate. So that works. Works for me. I think Adaptive Helmet is a great buy. Lee Sin with 80 jungle item. Not too impressive, you know. Doing his best, I guess. That's the standard we are having now. Participation trophy for Ambition and Lee Sin. Doing fine, right? Not a big deal, you know. I don't think he's been an issue or something, but I just feel like Lee Sin is super weak. Connie's buying Black Cleaver. That is bold. That is really, really bold. He is really, really relying. Oh! Okay. That could have been close, man. That could have been really close. Almost with Smite. Connie gets caught, though. Doesn't matter. Gets out eventually. All right. Let's take a step back, because I was so distracted. Like, the owner Vitality wrote something crazy to me in messages. Holy moly, this off season is gonna be hot. You know, it's gonna be hot, hot, hot. It's going to be crazy. Okay, so let me take a step back even further, because I am lost in where we are. So we had the Ginsu's Rage Blade, we had the Varus buying items. They're doing the same old thing by walking into bottom, pushing in bottom, and then rotating into mid lane. They're rotating towards blue buff, killing at the wave bottom. Okay, they're not under any threat of potential lane swap from Kog'Maw and Taric at the top. Now seems to be doing fine. The 1v1 right now, he seems to be able to push in, so he's very, very happy. There we go, that's the rotation we've been looking for. Samsung are walking back and forth, and the Talia wall doesn't clip them close. And now Kog'Maw Taric, with the wave being pushed in all the way bottom, they can't really do much. I like this play from Samsung. I think this is good macro. You know, people say, oh, you be pushed in bottom, we got the Taric bottom, we need to just swap into top. And if you do that right off the bat without pushing both wave in all the way, sometimes you can't. You know, sometimes you can because you need to base, you're in a hurry. Just base and walk bottom again, push it in. You're going to be stronger than enemy bot. You got a lot of money, got a moolah, and you just freaking swap after that. You know, just go from bottom to mid into top, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in a better situation than before. Good chip from Samsung. They managed to pick up the Rift Herald. It was rather close. Condi almost got it. You know, as we said, you know, Samsung had priority, and World Elite was just shadowing them, and eventually they got that done for themselves. And the big deal here that World Elite managed to get that mid tower, and Samsung didn't. You know, it gives a lot of space here to do these roams into these outer turrets that are still standing, where they can push in all the way, and then the rotation from this second mid tower is very awkward to do into a side lane. And right now, with the push in on mid and Varus showing on mid lane, gives World Elite the space here to push the top turret, and that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. You know, Mystic has some money on him, I think, with this being said, and probably wants to base. Definitely think that Kog'Maw with Ginsu's Rage Blade is a lot better than Varus with Ginsu's Rage Blade. Varus doesn't have, like, he's very good at killing tanks, but the enemy team don't have any tanks to kill, so that is important to highlight. Like, he's going to be able to hit Jarvan maybe, but Jarvan's buying full 80 anyway. You know, he's relying on that Taric ultimate to do insane damage. very good difference of Kondi and jungle proximity here, because that was the thing that was missing big time in the previous game. Big time jungle proximity was just non-existent. Let's take a look now at Kog'Maw and Taric overstaying quite a bit. Like they want to defend the top turret, but they lose mid turret because they want to defend top turret. So why I'm saying they want to freaking defend top turret is because they stay for another wave, and just because they stay for another wave allows Samsung to get a lot of tempo here into mid lane. Rift Turret being used, and boom, tower falls. Okay, good save for Samsung, because Drake was also spawning around the same time, and the next Drake will also be Mountain. I thought the thing updated instantly. Oh, something cracked in my back. Okay. Galio split pushing in the bot lane, you know. Galio wins against Cannon as well. So that is the issue of Cannon, right? Like, he gets beaten by Galio, he gets beaten by Gnar, and they both can itemize the same items against both matchups. Like, Galio can go against Talia, no problem. And the side lane pressure is definitely in favor of Samsung. That is always the difficulty of Cannon, you know. It's always going to be the problem. Later on, he's not a split push menace, and he needs to kind of find like engages from behind or something, you know, to make sure that he gets like ult on a lot of good targets. But Samsung are managing to maintain mid priority with the Varus and Rakan, and Nara's having priority against Cannon, and Galio's having priority against the Talia, and this makes it very easy for Samsung to just maneuver themselves around the map. Because how do you break this? Like, you break this by trying to force on mid, I guess, but their forcing ability is not that great. Two items finished now on Kog'Maw. This is going to make him a lot stronger, and the question is, you know, sure, Samsung have like this pseudo full AD comp with Varus, right? Varus Galio. So they have some magic damage, right? It's not like, oh, they don't do any magic damage, just buy armor, we'll win the game. No, it doesn't really work like that. Right, Ambition, Galio ults in. It's a good catch from Kondi, but this space is not that great for Wildy to fight in. Never want to be the one running into tight areas. But forcing the enemy team to run through tight areas is always really, really good. So Wildy backing off is 100% correct there. Kove in the similar position like previous games with Gnar. He's just pressuring bottom. His trading seems to be a lot worse in this case though. 957 is doing some damage with that Leandris onto the Gnar. And all is good. Someone was knocking on the door. Pardon me. Pardon me. Okay, let's talk about this again. So Samsung have this advantage that they are stronger on side, a lot stronger on side. They are 20 minutes now. They are a lot stronger on side. We need to wait for some void steps to come in, and maybe it would change. World Elite have an advantage that their AD is a bit stronger, but Samsung should have like the stronger teamfight composition as well. So Samsung comp-wise have a lot of like good picks, but Cannon has found a good angle here with the home guard. Oh, gets kicked out by Ambition. Interesting. Okay. That's a good shit from Ambition. Kubi is still pushing, and Samsung are being crispier in their decision making. I feel like Samsung have like a really, really clear formula of how they like to play games, and their compositions always take form at 20 minutes, you know, where They are winning the split pushes at that time. They're winning the fights at that time, which has been so fundamentally important for Samsung's success in these games. Right now, at this point in the time, they are very good at forcing, very strong, and boom, the Nash gets secured. Crown is a bit too deep now, way too deep. How did he get over that wall? Like, he just flashed W over, and then boom, the Nash was finished, which was, you know, in a sense, it was a good play from Crown because it made the situation not to a 50-50. Cannon comes in, and the best thing Samsung can do right now is just disengage. They got the Baron, and the price that World Elite will take out of this is going to be very, very small. 2 kills. Kuvi is going to most likely die. Gets the jump off. So I lied. I'm just struggling to see why. What is the punishment from World Elite? They lose every side lane. They lose the 5v5. So what is the redeeming quality of World Elite's draft? Just feels like Samsung have an insane draft here. Better mid game. Early game that can contest the enemy early game. Managed to get the first tower. Got a good fight in bottom. And at 20 minutes they are way stronger than the enemy team. And 957 trying to do the desperate play. Doesn't work out for him. 1-0. What is the play for World Elite with this comp? They need to like one-shot someone important. But whenever the name of the game has been to one-shot Varus, then, you know, it's always been very hard. And I don't know, whenever I see like Gnar and Galio in the same team, like they do so much damage even though they are pretty tanky and their base numbers are really, really high. And Gnar's win ratio at this tournament has been fantastic as well. Alright. Ambition going up top to support his buddy, pushing the turret. Sheer doesn't catch anyone with his ultimate. And World Elites are struggling. It's hard for them to find a good engage. They have to try to maybe EQ and then ult onto Varus and Rakan, because these are the people without flashes, and you know, playing the split push game is not going to work out. They just need to engage somewhere, because right now, you know, they're losing their entire base. Entire fucking base is collapsing. Samsung are very good at accelerating games. Try to go for a gank on Galio, but it just doesn't matter. You know, this is the wrong target to go for sure. Got a stone plate ready. Interesting here how the draft, you know, Como was given up, like they was just given up completely, and they were fine to do that because they used their other ban to ban Gragas, which put, I guess it's put a lot of value on Sejuani, I guess. Like Gragas ban gives Sejuani value, or they just bait World Elite into banning another jungler and forcing a trade. Could be the case. But even in that case, you know, World Elite banned Sejuani, they banned freaking Gragas was out, and then still World Elite didn't first rotate Jarvan. So I don't know what their trade was. Like, if they were willing to just give Jarvan up, then why did they ban Sejuani? Why did they not ban Galio? Like, sure, Ambition is a fantastic Sejuani. He's the guy who fucking played it first. Mystic with a clean flash. Clean. Conde needs to get in there, though. His build is not paying off. That's the best thing they can hope for. 957 coming in from behind, but Ruler is a target that is going to live for a long time. Ardent Sensor. Oh, is it the Penta? Give me Penta. Oh. Fucking Crown. Alright, Samsung coming in here with a 3-on-1. World Elite coming in with a bang, you know, in the first game. But then World Elite, they're kind of outmaneuvered in draft. I feel like Samsung did a lot of creative things that, you know, I think second game, they didn't get outdrafted. Third game, I felt like Samsung definitely had the better draft, and Samsung now in the final against SSG Telecom. We got the Korean final. Once again, who would have predicted this? What a surprise. Samsung showing off this new way of playing. You know, I feel like this was what the meta was about for a very long time. Samsung, you know, being as strong as you possibly can be at 20 minutes, get Nasher and finish the fucking game with that Nasher. That is the name of the game that Samsung is playing, and that has been the meta for so long, you know. These tanky mofos like Galio, they are super strong at this point in the game because they can tank Nasher, high base value numbers, and no one's gonna freaking kill tanks at that point in the game. Holy moly, Samsung playing the Varus 3 times, 3 victories. Galio, Talia, a lot of these early game picks. They recognize the strength of Shen, fantastic Gnar from Kuwei, Ambition with some blunders here and there, but I think consistently enough, you know, that that third game that they played, I think Ambition definitely carried that one. You know, he did a fantastic job of maintaining vision and blocking out the vision from World Elite. I think if World Elite played the same way they played in this game, in the previous game, I think they would have had bigger chances. But the more and more and the deeper we got into that game, I feel like it kind of unfolded, and we saw how clearly Samsung outdrafted World Elite. It was a bit wonky, you know, with the way the draft was. It wasn't necessarily meta, but in all senses of it, you know, World Elite got outdrafted pretty heavily, and people expected Samsung to be the favorites. I did too, and normally so. I think we leave it at that. You know, World Elite did have a great performance in the first game. They had a good performance in the second game. I think they could have executed better. Condi just had too much of a trigger finger, you know. He just went into too ham all the time, and then the third game he wasn't playing around mid lane. So I think Condi disappointed me in this series. I think he was the man that could have made it happen for World Elite. But Samsung showed this draft style that is very unique, and I think it fits the current meta very well. It's covering their weaknesses in that sense that their early game is not the greatest, and it kind of solves itself by having like a lot of early game power, and then these early game power champions that they're picking transition into a very, very powerful mid game, and that mid game secures them the Nasher every time with their decision making. And I think the split push, the way Kuwei does it, is absolutely phenomenal. And I think the final against SK Telecom can become very exciting, because in the end, you know, I think Samsung is going to come in as a favorite, and maybe I'll make like a video about, you know, discussing with some buddies or something what they think about the finals, and maybe I'll bring some people together. Could be interesting, you know, make some predictions and talk about it. Can be something short. I'll talk to you guys and catch you on the flip side. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, you'll find out a secret. Tum tum tum. Never mind.